Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Si. I come from Essasani. I am here to assist you with your questions and dialogue.
Hello, Cece. How are you going?
I am wonderful. How about you?
Yeah, very good. Very good. Just waking up, been doing night shift. So, yeah, it's a great start to the day, I guess. Is there anything that you want to talk about first?
There is not anything at this time that I can gather, but we can always add additions to our conversations as we continue because we will allow this to unfold and allow the process of flow to be initiated with the start of your questions.
Okay, well let's start off where we were ending last time, because last time we got cut off by the bell, and then we're talking about my story and what my lineage is up with these hieroglyphs up at the sacred site up here, and then you got interrupted. So, do you want to start from there?
Sure, you can remind us what the question was that you had specifically, and then we will go more in depth
Okay.
with the answer.
Sure. Okay. So I was asking you in regards to my life and what I was doing there at the hieroglyphs when I was in that life. Um, and then you were going into details about what my life was and what Stacey's was and so forth in that life and the reasons why I was being there, going there and things of this nature.
Yes. So, in other words, you are asking us to go further in detail in regards to that?
Yeah, please, because we got cut off and I couldn't hear you, what you were going to say um, last time.
Yes. So, you are asking about the reasons being why you were in that specific area with your partner?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Uh,
One moment while we are gathering the information.
like you said, what my role was as a pharaoh, being an explorer going there, but what was her role and the details of that?
Yes, so she was there specifically what you would call as a high priestess. So she works specifically with the different plants in the area as well as the individuals. So she was somewhat of, you could say, a healer in some senses. So in her specific role in that particular time frame, simply she was in that area doing similar type of work to what you would know as a healer. So she was working with many different individuals and also within the planetary structure. So in the physical environment, you could say. So in that way, you both were working together in various different ways. So she was doing her part, you were also doing your part in that area as well. So in this way, you both came together and you could say correlated this portal in which that was created. Because as we mentioned prior, that you had literally brought that particular structure to your physical reality now. So there was an aspect of you that traveled and brought it forward into your awareness now. Because of this reason, this has allowed you to be able to connect specifically with that area, and you have been able to access many different types of vibrations of what you would call memories in some senses. And these memories are able to be used now currently in your life.
So when can we just explain that? When you say I shifted that reality into my awareness now, what do you mean by that?
You simply took different aspects of during that time frame and literally moved it into your physical reality. So this way there now as you are, you could say now in this human life, this way there you were able to discover these remains and be able to connect with the vibrations. So you could say that there was some type of magic that took place in some senses. As being a pharaoh, you were able to also connect to various different galactic energies, literally moved that part of your reality into your physical reality now, if that makes sense.
By what I was doing back then.
What was the question?
So what I foreseen something back then, and I moved it into the reality of I am now.
Yes, this is correct. So you literally shifted that particular piece, that particular monument, you could say, into this physical reality. Yes. And therefore, the reason being is so that you can use these as a template in the journeys of exploration and adventure ahead of you now, currently. Because many of the beings that are, you could say, visiting you, connecting with you, they are working with you in order to bring forward these ancient type of knowledge, the wisdom in which many of the times in which you have played different roles in many different types of civilizations. So you can bring this forward into your physical reality now. And these particular ancient teachings, wisdoms can be shared with those, you could say, in the collective. So as you begin your journey to discover more about this particular monument, as we will not be able to tell you everything, of course, because this is your journey that you have set for yourself. And when you begin to connect further into these energies, then you will be able to share it with others. Now, you can share it in many different ways. You can share it with, you could say, different types of archaeologists. You can share this with other types of people that are, you could consider, speakers in some kind of way, or you can simply use it yourself and create stories of different times to be able to share this, because many of the different teachings that are within these particular realities that carry these particular vibrations, again, you have taken these vibrations from various different counterparts of yours and have placed it within this monumental structure within your physical reality now as well. So therefore you can then tap into these and use these specifically. Now your main role in this particular, you could say, aspect of this monument was the pharaoh, but you also have taken many different, you could say, connections, vibrations from other aspects of yourself and literally brought it in this space. As again we had mentioned, it is a portal.
Is that why there's pictures of UFOs on the wall as well?
Yes, because even as you being a pharaoh, you were able to connect to different galactic civilizations. You knew the different aspects of yourself and different civilizations that you had played roles in at one point or another in your, you could say, soul's existence. So yes, this is correct.
And what pharaoh was? What was my name then back then?
One moment while we are seeing if we have a name in which you had gone by. One moment, we are tuning the vocal cords for the channel to be able to pronunciate this particular name, as it is coming in a different language. So it is very, you could say, challenging for the channel's vocabulary, as she does not know different languages, just simply the one that she is speaking with now. So one moment. It is going to be a similar sound as hakoa. This is the
Okala.
best way that we can pronunciate this with the channel's current vocabulary.
And when was I born in this period?
We do not have specific dates at this time available to share with you.
Okay then. So how can I find more about this person, well, me?
The best way for you to be able to connect directly to this specific aspect of yourself is to start to connect with the vibrations. When you think of this particular being, you will start to understand more on an energetic level, as the mind always wants to place a story and a name and a theme for a particular being or for a particular story, but allowing the vibrations from the energetic resonance to be able to, you could say, unify with yourself. This is the deepest connection you will be able to experience with this being. So simply allowing yourself to consider this idea, consider this being within your physical resonance. And by simply connecting, you will start to see this being in your mind. When this being comes to mind, do not second guess it, do not question it. Allow yourself to feel the vibrations. When you feel the vibrations, this is going to be the cue in which you are connecting with. From there, you can start to develop a deeper understanding of who you are, but also a deeper connection to be able to communicate and get your questions answered specifically from this being. This is one way. The other way is to allow yourself to go near that physical structure. If you are not able to go physically near it, then allow yourself to sit in your home or out in nature and allow yourself to astral travel to this particular structure. This will allow you to be able to gather a better, you could say, energetic understanding of the details in which it has vibrationally. This is going to include the pharaoh aspect of you, but many different other, you could say, galactic pieces of you. This will allow you to connect directly to this vibration.
Okay, yeah, I can pick up on that vibration already. So I guess I can work backwards. When I go to that site, the primary energy I feel is just an ancient energy. I don't know how to describe it outside of that. And you're saying when I go in there to tap into that energy.
Yes, simply tap into the energy and sit with it as long as possible. When you start to do this, you will start to understand and you will literally see through the lines if you understand what we mean. So, speaking, you could say that the energy in which you are picking up on, this ancient energy, you can visualize this and see it as, you could say, a stream. But there's just one stream. But as you begin to connect further and deeper in that physical structure, you'll be able to literally connect to different aspects of it, literally the structure of this energetic stream. You will start to literally feel between the cracks and the lines. This will then allow you to be able to connect to the different aspects of yourself. Not only are you going to be able to understand and pick up the resonance of this, but you will start to see things within that life, within those lives, you could say, that have connections. And these particular lives that you will be able to peer into have many different stories and many different purposes and themes. So you could say, in a way, now that you yourself is what you would consider a master soul, your soul has many different themes and journeys and discoveries in which you have made throughout the course of your existence. So because of this, this particular way in which you can connect to these different cracks, these different streams, you could say, this will allow you to be able to see more in depth different aspects. When you are looking at these different aspects, and we are speaking about wisdom, wisdom that you have acquired over these courses of these particular timelines and themes, and you can bring it forward so you can start to create a reality based on these particular ancient wisdoms that you have agreed upon these particular lifetimes to be able to bring forward into your current reality. So this is the best way in which you can start to use this.
Okay, and when you say master soul, what do you mean by that?
What we mean is that you have gone through many different journeys, many different explorations, have acquired many different aspects of ancient wisdom through different civilizations. So we could say, in other words, you are an experienced soul. This is what you would consider a master soul. You have mastered many different parts of your journey, many different parts of your soul's themes in which you have decided and agreed to play out.
Okay, and so just by connecting into the energy there, do I have to visualize anything?
No, you can simply sit and you can sit and simply be in emptiness, because this is the best way, because the mind does not want to control what you are seeing, what you are feeling. By sitting in complete emptiness, this allows your mind to stay in a neutral place. This will allow the energies to be able to be presented to you without a filter. So you will be able to start to sense this deeper. This may not happen the first time, but as you continue along your practice with this, you will start to see what we are explaining to you.
Okay, all right, well, I'll do that and report back. In regards to the pictures and the hieroglyphs on the walls, what's the best way to start decoding them?
As we have mentioned, by simply tapping into the vibration, this is one way. The other way is simply going to the particular physical structure and looking at the particular images that you see in front of you. When you look at these images, take a step back. Then allow yourself to, we forgot to mention, to bring a writing utensil and paper, or use your electronic device. The pad and paper would be best, because this will allow you to be able to draw out any particular type of vibrations that you might be getting, or write out. This is the best way, a writing utensil and paper. But as you take a step back, look at these particular images more in depth and allow yourself to energetically connect to the vibration of these images. When you connect to the vibrations of these images, you will start to notice a story. Do not question what you are getting when you are looking at them. Allow yourself to trust the vibration that is being presented to you, because the first vibration that is presented to you is going to be your answer.
Okay, I'll do that and come back to you. So Stacey's life in that, and when I first went back there, she was a priestess of some sort, correct?
This is correct, yes.
Is that why I attracted her in this life again? And while this is all going on?
Yes, so you and her have different agreements, and you have had different agreements in various different lives. So in this particular life, you could say that she has carried many of the different aspects of that part of her, and you have recognized her in some sort of way, and she has recognized you in some sort of way. It isn't really so much the physical aspects that you might notice right away. It is more so the vibration, the feelings that you get inside of yourself, a feeling as if you feel comfortable, as if something feels familiar, as it just seems to sync up, you could say. So this, now we will say to you that we're not saying there won't be any type of physical resonance that may have tension every now and then, because as physical beings in this particular reality and the many different themes that are being explored and played out, you may have times where you do go through these, you could say, normal couple type of frictions and tensions, but generally speaking, we are speaking at a higher level. So when you are both vibrating in that level, you can both understand each other on many different wavelengths because you have previously experienced each other in different, you could say, lifetimes.
Okay, that makes sense. Because when I did meet her, when I first met her, as soon as I seen her, she did definitely get my attention, which is pretty abnormal. There was some energy about her that seemed familiar. I guess that's what you're talking about.
Yes.
Then
This
what are our
nurturing
things?
aspect of her, the nurturing aspect of her is one of the key components. And this nurturing aspect of her may not necessarily be, you could say, aware of. So, in other words, you may not be fully aware of this nurturing aspect of her, but there is a deep nurturing aspect of her that allows the energy to, you could say, formulate within her auric field in such a way that allows you to be able to be familiar with the presence of her.
Ah, so I'm familiar to those traits that she has of being nurturing.
Can you please repeat?
I'm familiar with the traits, like you're saying she has nurturing energies, and that's what I recognize.
Yes. Yes, this is correct.
And what do you mean by nurturing? So I'd like to understand that more.
So, as you can think about a mother taking care of her children, taking care of those that she cares for, and the environment, think of a lady walking and taking care of her garden, taking care of the elderly, taking care of the sick, the healer aspect, the strong healer aspect. So, in other words, she has a soft touch to her heart. This is one of the key components of her nature.
Ah, yes, I can see that. Yeah, okay. All right, well, I'll give those things a try. I went up the other day after you told me about the ring and had a look around this dirt mound, and I come across one. Do you think it was around that area where I'm talking about?
One moment while we are scanning. Yes, it is going to be, if you are standing near the mound, it's going to be a little bit north of where you were located, just a tad bit. Maybe, one moment, 10 to 15 feet.
10 to 15 feet north.
Yes, this is correct. But this is not very far. So, literally a few steps.
Wow, that's pretty amazing that I got a few steps within all that. Because it was funny, I was walking along and then I'm thinking, oh, dirt, man. Like, this whole place is full of dirt. This is crazy. Like, what a little scavenger hunt you sent me on. And then all of a sudden I stop and I think, oh, it's around here somewhere. So I also want to talk about that for a moment. Was I picking up on the ring, or was it just what was going on in that moment?
So, yes, you were picking up on the ring, but you were also picking up on the resonance. There is a deep resonance underground in this particular area because of the rings being, you could say, buried, but also because of the particular area in which all of these particular energies are located. So you could say this particular whole area is what you would call a portal of some kind. And underneath the ground, there's a resonance. And this is what you were primarily picking up on.
Ah, so I was picking up on the resonance more than the ring itself.
Yes, because the resonance is rather strong.
And is that why they placed the ring there?
One of the reasons, yes.
What was another? What were the other reasons?
They were placed there specifically in a specific pattern type way to allow the energies to balance. And the energies, the balances in that particular area literally opens up that portal, opens up that door, allows certain type of frequencies to be able to be accessed in that specific area.
So were they using the ring as a tool in that vibration you're talking about?
Yes.
So with the rings removed from that area, is it still functional?
Not in the same type of way, no. But this particular portal has not been used in some time anyways. But yes, to answer your question, because the rings are moved, because the rings are taken out of there, there's still a resonance. There still will be a resonance there. But that particular portal that opens up that particular type of frequency will no longer allow all of that type of frequency to come through. But now, like we said, it has not been used in quite some time, so it really doesn't make a big difference. And this is one of the key components as to why they were discovered. So they were not just discovered because somebody accidentally, there is no accidents here. They were simply led. So a being literally led them to this particular area to find these particular rings.
So you're saying, let's go back to the portals. So that area is a vortex portal point, and you're
Yes.
saying what people don't use that portal anymore.
We are not speaking about the entire portal. We are speaking of a specific one. So there is this particular vortex and portal in this generalized area already, but there was a specific type of doorway that was created within the resonance of these particular rings and how they were placed. This particular doorway is no longer being used to access those frequencies. Now, the whole entire portal itself still is used, not as frequently, but it is still used. But removing the rings does not affect the generalized portal in that area, just that specific doorway in which we are mentioning.
Okay. And then so if you're saying to be in the receiving mode while using this ring, um, is it best to be used on these vortex points?
We would say that it will be the most strongest. Yes, it will. But it can be used outside of that particular area. But to have the most strongest connection would be best to be used in that area, as of course any type of vortex, any type of portal does intensify energies. So specifically, this is the reason why. But as we said before, you can use it outside of that area as well and still get similar effects, just will not be as intensified.
Okay. Well, I guess I have to go back up and have another look for it and get back to you. Is there any precautions with these rings that I should be aware of?
No, we wouldn't say that you would need to necessarily take precautions as far as it being harmful, but do take good care of the actual physical component of it, as it is quite fragile in some ways.
Okay, fragile in what ways?
More, you could say, energetically speaking, and that they are what you would consider old in your language. So it would be best to keep them in a safe place and simply wrap them in a red fabric. If you do have a soft red fabric, this would be best, but you can simply wrap it in any type of fabric to keep it preserved so it does not, you could say, have any type of negative effects to it from the environment. And when we say negative effects, we are simply using your language to say that we do not want it to get damaged in some sort of way, is what we are speaking of.
Okay, well, thanks for the clue. I'll go back there and have a look for it and get back to you. I appreciate your help. Is there anything else you want to say on the subject before we move on to something else?
Well, you can create what's considered a crystal grid in that area as well, and this will thank the particular connections and the, you could say, earth spirits in that area for allowing you to be able to discover these, but also they will also assist you in locating them as well. So simply by creating this crystal grid in this area, this will also help, you could say, balance the energies as well.
Oh, okay. And for the elementals, is that what you're talking about?
Yes, primarily.
Okay, yeah, I'm pretty familiar with them up there, so I can do that. So maybe next time I go up before I start looking for the ring.
Yes, and they may assist you in this journey to discover where it is located. After you place the crystal grid, allow yourself to connect to the land. Allow yourself to connect to the spirits of the land. This way there they can then show you in the direction in which you need to go. They may even guide you specifically to the right spot if you allow them to.
Oh, that sounds fun. Okay, I'll give it a go and get back to you. And talking about the elementals and little lights, that night I seen the draconian ship go over the sky. I was looking at these little lights down the road, and I was unsure what they were. They were like these little fluttering lights, but they were very bright. Could you tell me what they were?
They were simply portals, or excuse us, not portals. We are using the channel's language. They were simply orbs that were dropped from the ship in the sky. So this allowed you to be able to grab your attention so you were able to see almost as if it were similar to a light show. But they were simply just connecting with you.
Oh, so they were dropped from the draconian ship.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Is that why they hung around for a while, just for entertainment value?
Yes, they were simply getting your attention, just simply connecting with you. There were no specific reasons why those orbs were dropped necessarily, just to provide you with the connection, or you could say the communication aspect. They were simply getting your attention, and this is why these particular orbs were placed there.
Yeah, okay. That's pretty interesting because they're pretty bright and they were there for quite some time. And I didn't feel like they had much of a purpose, but that explains it, what you were telling me. And talking about the Dracos, I was having a dream
Oh, we
the other
want to
week. Sorry.
add we want to add one thing, and we
Mm.
apologize. This was a message coming from them. They said that they do not like to be quiet in their appearance. They like to be very loud. They want to be seen. They want to be heard. And this is specifically why they were left there for quite some time, as bright as they were, because they do not like to be small. They like to be very large with their appearance.
Yes, they do. Yeah, I can feel that. That's basically what I was about to get onto next, about them because they like to sort of be in the forefront, so to speak. Um, and I was having a dream the other week, and I couldn't really piece much of it together, but it had something to do with these vortexes. I was at work in my stream, and then I was creating these vortexes like with music or something like that, and and then there was an Indigenous bloke at work. He came up to me, and then it looked like Stacey's ancestors come up to me, and I'm trying to piece together what all that dream was about. And just before I woke up, an ant bit me in the bed, and I felt like it was the Dracos because they do overtake animals sometimes, especially poisonous animals. And was that them getting my attention?
One moment while we are connecting with the energy to see if this was what was occurring. They are laughing in this particular being is laughing and he says he didn't do it, but he has a smirk on his face, so we know that he didn't.
So, do you say you know he didn't?
He did it.
Yeah, I know he did it as well. Because just before I woke up, the Dracos were saying to me they want their part in all this to be seen, just like you were saying before, and I feel like they assisted in it. How let's put it that way, and so I wouldn't forget that dream, so I would bring it back up again. So can you help me decipher that dream?
Can you please provide us the details once again
Okay,
about the dream?
because it was a little while back, it's a bit hazy on it. I know in my dream I was at my workplace, somewhere near the mental hospital part and the mental ward, and then outside I was showing. There's an Indigenous person at work, and I was showing them about these frequency waves and how they're creating vortexes and Stacey's either one of Stacey's family members or an Indigenous person came up to me. It was either her, and I'll try to piece it all together. What I was trying to show them, and then that's when the Dracos woke me up with a fire ant biting me and stung the side of my whole leg for the next few hours.
So simply, we will say to you that they were providing you with the awareness of this dream because they are telling us that there is a lot of information that they are giving you. They are gifting you, they say, not giving, gifting you. And that you have an agreement with them to bring the information forward, to share. So, this being said, this particular dream in which you have experienced and which you were speaking about bringing music using sound waves and vibrations, these are different ways in which you can start to bring some of this information forward, because they're saying that you don't necessarily have to do the channeling part necessarily right off the bat to be very loud in that way. They are saying that you can start very subtly by starting to provide different vibrations that they have to offer to assist the human collective, because they are saying that this is one thing that you have made agreements on. This is something they do want to play a role in right now. So, with that being said, this is something that they wanted you to pay very close attention to, because this is a way that you can share their message to the world. But of course, they
So
are saying that you will, they will like you to bring that message when you are ready, very loud and very clear. But they are saying that you have some sense of shyness or sense of camera shy. They are saying camera shy is what they are saying. And this is why they are saying you can start small in that sort of way.
oh, okay. Um, that's pretty interesting. So what message are they saying to bring forward? There's probably a multitude of messages.
One moment while we are seeing if they are going to provide us with that information. They are being rather subtle in their responses. So, one moment. They are saying that they have provided you many different messages that they want you to share with the world. That it does not matter, because all of the messages are the ones that they want you to share. So there's a lot of collective based information that they want to start getting out. They want to start making people aware of their presence, to see that they are not as bad as they seem, to see the contrasted perspective that they are literally just beings, and they do want to help us in various different ways. But their presence is rather strong and can intimidate those within the collective. But if you can start to bring these types of vibrations out forward, people can start to adjust to the different vibrations that they have to offer. But there are many different messages they are saying that they would like you to share. They are saying very loudly to us all messages.
Okay. I guess they're referring to as bridging those worlds. I guess that's what they're saying.
Yes, this is exactly what they are wanting to do at this time. They are saying they're jumping on the bandwagon to assist planet Earth.
Mm, okay. I can help them out with that. Is there any other messages they want to give?
One moment while we are seeing if there's anything else they'd like to bring forward. They are saying to start looking at those very clearly, to be very honest with yourself when interacting with people in your reality. So there are people that you may come across that are literally, they are saying, this is not our words, as we do not speak in this way, but they are saying it is literally a wolf in sheep's clothing. So they are saying to be very aware of this, that some of the individuals that you have interacted with may not be what they seem, to just pay attention. They're just saying, pay attention, pay attention.
Okay. What are they saying in a negative sense?
One moment while we are seeing if this is what they are saying. They are not saying necessarily this is negative, but they are saying to just pay attention. This is all that they are saying about this specifically. To just pay attention. Pay attention to those around you.
Okay. Um, all right. No worries. I'll
They
do that.
say, look beyond the mask.
Look beyond the mask. And what do these? What are these? What are the intentions of these people?
They're not saying specifically an intention, but they are saying they are not what they seem. They're not what they seem, is what they are saying. One moment, let's see if we can get more clarification on this specifically. To be more clear and more exact, they are providing with additional information. They are saying that there are people that you have interacted with that you may think may be able to help you with certain things, and that they are not exactly able to in the way that you feel they're going to be able to assist you. Say they
Oh,
are
okay.
just stating to look a little bit more closer in detail to these specific individuals in your reality.
What the people I went and seen the other week? Is that who they're talking about?
Can you repeat that, please?
The people I seen last week. Is that who he's talking about?
One moment. Yes, this is what he is referring to.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, because I had my suspicions about those people, and yeah, I thought I'd have to branch off and go my own way because I don't feel like they're in alignment with the direction I'm going. Yeah. Okay. Tell them thank you for that.
Yes. They also say that you have to start trusting your intuitive senses more, because you know all of these answers that you are asking because you already are connected, they say. You already are aware, you already are open, is what they're showing us. You already are open. So to start trusting in what you are feeling when you are feeling these spidey senses, they are saying. They
Yeah.
are
Okay.
messages from your guides, they are messages from them
Okay. All right. Well, thank the Dracos for that. Um, okay. Is there anything else you want to say? We'll move on.
No, that will include what we have to say about this specific topic.
Okay. Let's talk about another experience I had. Just when I was speaking to Riok, the Essasani, one of your counterparts. We're talking about when I'd peer out into the astral world, and then I'd get like cheat codes of some sort, and then I'd come back, and I was doing this. I was playing with this phenomena not long ago, and then the next day, or around about a couple of days later, this random nurse comes and does a cash dropping money into a safe box, and Aussie security, and then he just started coming out to me and talking about these Jewish codes and all this random stuff out of nowhere. And then he said, "Oh, well, if I was you, I'd buy this and do that." And then I didn't take his advice, but I watched it because it was a very strange experiment when you talk about spider senses. And and then of course this thing went up tens of thousands of dollars, and I would have probably made $10,000 or $20,000 pretty easily. Um, so was that a case of me using these cheat codes?
You are saying cheat codes, is that correct?
Yeah, well, that's the word I give him. Because Ryok said because I am open and I have these abilities that I can just change things on a template reality, and then they just manifest.
You could say that in some senses, but we can also say to you and share with you that you have the ways to interact with those in, you could say, other dimensions, other realities, to be able to interact, to be able to bring information forward. And you can change things in your reality. You could say that in that way. If this is what you are referring to, then yes, this particular individual, this particular circumstance, which you had experienced, was, you could say, a reflection of that. So you were simply tapping into that.
So, I just got to keep putting it out there again and wait for the next experience.
Yes. So you can start to use this ability more when you start to meditate more, or when you meditate in general. Allow yourself to tap into the vibrational essence of what it is that you are attempting to change or attempting to manifest and bring forward. And by placing the intention that you would need assistance in doing this, this allows you to set up a particular window of opportunity. The window of opportunity can work, like you had just mentioned, can allow an individual to come forward with information, or you may simply come across an article, or you may simply see different synchronicities that provide you with, say, the number to win the lottery, or to win a lot of money, or a certain sequence of numbers that's going to allow you to be able to purchase something that will give you abundance. This is just an example in terms of what you are able to accomplish with this type of gift or this type of ability. So by tapping into that.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll work on that and get back to you about that as well. Um, so you're saying just to go into that intention, into that template reality, and change it, and then see what manifests, and look for the synchronicities.
Yes, this is correct, by simply placing the intention, because different aspect of yourself, a specific synchronicity, a specific vibration may come to your aid that can literally show you different things, such as you had mentioned, where you were given specific information and you did not jump on the opportunity, but this was a specific example that you did more, you could say, on a subconscious type level. You were not aware that you were doing it, but you were literally setting yourself up to allow yourself to interact, so you were able to pick up on certain information, but you were not aware this is what you were doing. Therefore, you did not jump upon the opportunity of window that you had in front of you. And this is quite all right, as this itself is a synchronicity, because now that you have tapped into that and asked about this specific circumstance, now you know that you can use this to your best benefit in order to assist you in this sort of way coming in your future, you could say.
And because I see in that example, I've seen the synchronicities of it being a cash drop and all these type other synchronicities. Then he was talking about um, decoding Jewish sequences and things of this nature. Then obviously all those synchronicities were like a confirmation.
Yes, so that's what synchronicities are in some senses. You can use synchronicities to show you where you are at and where you are going, and to confirm to yourself that you are setting yourself up for something. But also synchronicities that align allow you to be able to tap into different opportunities and different vibrations that allow you to be able to bring information forward to you, or bring physical circumstances in your reality that allow you to, you could say, go in different directions that may be best for what you are trying to accomplish. So these are two different types of, you could say, synchronicities. But in this particular circumstance, you could say that you were utilizing both of these at that time. But you, again, were tapping into this on a subconscious level.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, our time's going to be coming to an end soon. So, is there anything you want to wrap up with today?
We wanted to share with you that there will be a time in possibly the next session to allow the draconian energies to be able to come through the channel. As today they wanted to come through the channel, but the channel is physically quite tired, so we did not allow the energies to come through this evening. But there will be an opportunity for them to be fully engaged through the channel. This way there, then they can provide you with different types of, you could say, energetic vibrations that can allow you to be able to use this in various ways, but also because they simply want to interact with you this way, but also through the channel, so that way she does receive different types of activations and downloads herself to be able to connect specifically with that energy.
Okay, that'll be exciting. I hope it's not too taxing on Steffi.
No, normally speaking, she can hold the energies very well, but this evening she has what you would call in your language a cold or sickness. So this is why she was not able to this day of your time. But in the, you could say, next session, she should be 100% able to hold the energies.
Okay, is there anything they want me to do before I speak to them next in this next session?
One moment while we see if there is anything they would like to share with you before the timer ends. They are, one moment while we are deciphering what it is that they are trying to say to you. They are showing us what you would call an eye, but also showing us dirt. So we are getting the sensations that they want you to spend more time grounding. I'm not sure if this is exactly what it is that they are saying, but this sounds about right.
No, that does sound like them. They're always banging on about grounding. But yeah, can always do
And
more
there is
grounding in my
something
life.
about the eye that they are speaking about. So when you do connect with them next in your physical reality, when you are alone, they are saying to focus on their eyes. The eyes that they will provide you in your meditation experience will allow you to be able to tap into their world. So you'll be able to travel to their world and to be able to experience where they are at currently and experience their vibrational essence in various different ways. So this is what they're also showing.
Okay, so in my next connection with them, I'll visualize on their eyes
Yes.
as a tool. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, I guess we'll end it here so we don't get cut off by the alarm.
Yes. At this time, then we will now allow the channel to return back to her natural state. We appreciate the time and energy that you have taken to connect with us this day of your time. We send our unconditional love.
Thank you. Speak to you soon.